Howdy, travelers from afar. Welcome back to Fallout New Vegas. And apparently we're having Wi-Fi issues at home, but like, my dad restarted the Wi-Fi earlier. And apparently that was not fixed, and like right before stream it was like, hey, we might need to to restart it again. But that was like immediately after I started, so like I couldn't stop. And I'm seeing the problem on my phone as well. It's saying private DNS server cannot be accessed, which is odd. But thankfully this stream is not run on Wi-Fi. I'll be able to continue. Hello, Kel. Hello, Bolio. Hello, Agatasa. Welcome. Aliens got Quebec, apparently. So, where was I? Find the upgrades to Sync's Central Intelligence Unit. Yeah, I'll do that before I do more things. So there is one in here, which is somewhere I've already discovered. Didn't immediately notice it since I was playing Diablo the Hell 4 mod. Yeah. I gotta find out how to sheathe my gun. Okay, well, the options menu isn't telling me. Press and hold. Oh, I have to press and hold the button.
Hello, sir.
Okay, they are fine with me being here. What am I supposed to be looking at? Oh, maybe it's above. Okay, there is nothing more in here. So let's head to the next area. Oh, I didn't mean to go in here. I guess I did now.
Continued resistance is unlawful. Law-abiding citizens.
The custodian. Okay, this is not an automatic weapon. It just shoots pretty fast. Maybe I am supposed to be in here. Energy cell. Oh, okay, so it's actually in here. Now we get out and we go to the next location. Although, there's also this little bit to check. Oh, also, I figured something it can do with fission batteries. But I have to get to a crafting station. Okay, that's not the correct workbench.
Ever heard? Mind you being a super mutant with no lips. Don't ask me how I bleed.
Pretty sure there's a workbench in here. Yes, there it is. I can convert fission battery into small energy cell. Skill book speech. Are you telling me I can actually make a skill book for speech? And there's one for medicine as well. Maybe I'll make those. Yeah, let's make a bunch of a small energy cell from fission batteries. Frees up a bunch of inventory space.
Might I be of service?
Recharges some ammo over time for the LAER. What? I kind of want that, but I'm gonna see if I can't gain a few levels first so it costs less caps. Maybe I can just buy it now and then come back later with a bunch of stuff to sell. Why did that not work? Oh, I think I know what's going on. Hello, I'm Elvin Gamer. How goes it? I think I have to fix something. Don't you just love always starting your stream the same way and then arbitrarily one day something breaks? Yep. Bonk's broken. So I'm gonna disable it for now and do a bunch of refunds. I might as well do my, a bunch of energy cell recycling. I've used a lot. MF cells. Okay, now we want to head over to this location. Just looked at your tags. You're Canadian too? That is correct. I got a holiday tomorrow. Okay, well, that other guy has decided to run away. See, this is why I was not hesitating too much in spending money. Just got an axe for 2,700. But yeah, I don't go to work tomorrow because there is a holiday in my province. The Quebec National Day, or as we call it, the Saint-Jean. don't sense anything. Okay, this seems to be the place. There's a town 2 hours away that has a festival for the St. John Day, but it's not an actual holiday in Alberta. Nah. I don't know. I think it might be... I don't think it's only in my province. But I don't know too much about the other provinces. Maybe in Ontario it is a holiday. But maybe further than that it isn't. Stuff that probably should have been taught at school but wasn't. Is that all there is in this room? There's a caution. I guess the caution doesn't exist anymore. Doesn't seem to be pointing directly at the door. Yeah, there's some things on top. Oh. Town also used to do the winter carnival that the Quebec has every winter, but stopped for every year for some reason. Elijah's Advanced LAER. Wait, what? So you're telling me there is a unique weapon for the LAER? Hello, plushie, how goes it? Okay, I have to see what the difference is with this. Howdy, mighty overlord. Okay, there's a comparison sheet here, but I don't understand the symbols. That probably means crit, I guess. The crit damage. So it breaks much faster than the other one, from what I see. Has slightly increased rate of fire, according to the wiki. But it's also much less durable, okay. Yeah, maybe I don't want to use that. I actually prefer the regular LAER over the unique one. That's insane. Oh, hey. And grab a bunch of proton axe. Also this robot over here. Oh, now there's a bunch of other locations that has the, that has stuff in it. What? Enemies nearby? Okay, what about now? Yeah, that's what I thought. So there was some recipes here that interested me. I need 25 blank books of each and then 2 wonder glue for each. So 50 books. Which I can...
Greetings, citizen.
I can create blank books here at this chute. Oops.
Might I be of service?
Proton axe. I don't think I should keep the universal axe either. I've found a few of them. And I saw something about the LAER again. Prismatic lens, splits beam. Well, it's a mod for a weapon that I've been using a lot. So now it's 34.4 times 3. Interesting. Over what is a regular one? Can I remove a mod? How's the heat in Quebec? It's not too bad. Becomes permanently locked. Okay, I don't actually want to do that then. In that case, I'll revert to this save and then
Might I be of service?
do my sales again. Because if I'm going to attach the weapon mods, I'll probably just do it to the unique weapon rather. What was the K9000? And did I find that weapon? Doesn't seem like I did. Oh. So Elijah's LAER did not get the ×3 modifier in its damage. It just has more damage now. I don't think I'm gonna be using my plasma rifle anymore, really. So... goodbye. Yeah, damage 79. Now damage is 103. Yeah, it just The mod just increased the damage of this weapon instead of splitting the beam. Interesting. So maybe I am using the this weapon despite it breaking faster. I actually want to go back here for a little bit to go get a bunch of books to make them blank. I recall this having a bunch of places that have books in them. So gotta find 4 pieces of Wonder Glue, which they might have here. Wait, what? Dr. Klein's Scrubs. A unique piece of equipment that I hadn't spotted last time. How many books do I have? $38, and there's also a bunch of small ones. Yeah, that's more than 50. Now I'm looking for 4 Wonder Glues. Although I can probably just do that some other time. I don't need to be searching every little boxes and places that I've already been at. It'll probably show up by itself. Alert! Enjoy your lurk, mighty overlord.
Greetings, citizen. What? If
71 blank books added.
proletariat means, do you know what that makes you? Well-read and erudite.
Oh, speaking of the wonder glue that I was looking for, there's some. We got stuff we're not even allowed to sell, people. Only at Mick and Ralph's. I remember that kid.
For a communist.
Hello, Zoa, how goes it? And now I can make skill book for speech. Skill book for medicine. And they're probably an aid. Speech increased by 3. Medicine increased by 3. Great. And I no longer need any of those blank books. For now. Already detected. Thought that was a place I already went to. I guess not, since there is a chemistry set here. Not the cazadors. %10 damage bonus against cazadors. Great. Yep, this is a glorious weapon. I probably shouldn't collect these. What? Again? Another damage increase to cazadors. And there's one behind this door. Specimen 73. Yep. I definitely feel the increased fire rate of this weapon. Atomic Valence Tri-Radii Oscillator. Okay, so it's this, but unique. Did I go this way? I didn't, but there's a laser rifle and a bunch of ammo. Now that I have jury rigging, I can just use laser rifles to repair the LAR. Or maybe not. Maybe I actually need plasma rifles for this one. Hold on. Okay, I will keep that in mind. That's 2 misses somehow. My weapons are really strong now. Or my one weapon is really strong, rather. And there is more places to check. been here before. And I guess I... Okay, no, so I've been here before, but I didn't have a tool that I now have. Where? There you are. Can't see. Ah! Well, one of them blew up with another one. K9000 Cyberdog gun. That's a unique. And then now I have 3 places that are undiscovered. Finally, I got the surprise on them.
clean up all this blood? Me, that's who. You stand still.
There's still one left. Probably more than one. The scroll was a bit messed up there. And I forgot to open this screen. Lighting here is not impressive. Okay, you are stuck here, but I still need to unlock this area. Okay, maybe there's not anything interesting here. Okay, no, that one's to the exit, but there's something... Ah, there it is. I think it will be faster to go here. Well, the danger is not approaching, so I can just go here. Elijah's advanced LER. What? You're telling me there's more than one of this same weapon? Hello, Kitsune. Have you planted enough sunflowers to fix all the radiation? No. Gotta make my way up there. Now just jump into here. I guess not. hitting my head on the top. Oh. It just died trying to get out. They might die going through this gate, but I want the experience for myself. I don't know how you would see me, considering you were not facing me. But okay. Gained the machine head perk. I seem to go faster with a holstered weapon. Back home from visiting mainland was a good trip. That's good. Welcome back.
All science will be mine.
Do not attempt to flee. Justice.
Still haven't killed that guy, no. Because I'm looking around and I find a bunch of gnomes here, and apparently that's a Wild Wasteland trigger. Intact gardened gnome. I've been gnomed. Snow White reference. Because of the gems. And the fact that there are 7 dwarves. 7 gnomes, rather. Because they're all mining for gems. Uh-huh. Have you ever been to La Ronde? No, I've never been.
Between you and me, I've...
Pencils, flipboards are processed into lead, spare parts, and duct tape.
Greetings, citizen.
Grading parts, production functionality, supply of energy cells, microfusion cells, and scrap electronics available once per day.
Please, please!
Yup.
Hey! Free ammo.
Hi again, sweetie. How can I illuminate you? Ooh, baby. Let's turn off the lights and turn...
You require some additional... Right.
Install implants. Oh. Thinking radiation removed. Increase speed while crouched. Bonus HP/AP from food. I don't really think I want these.
On the lights.
Might I be of service?
How many caps you got? 23,000, but I don't want these things. I want to use my efficient batteries. Find all the audio samples for the jukebox. So there is still one more side quest. But I can't access the place that I need to go to. So me thinks that I have to continue through the main DLC quest.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
I'd be honored if I could hear any knowledge the think tank had to share on the sciences.
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you. Yes.
And I got another side quest.
The lobotomite animal. Be warned. Attempt to propaganda me. I will shriek as a frightened babe, calling loyal cyber dogs to my aid. Do you comprehend, commie animal?
You always get this dramatic.
Drama? There is no drama in science. As I learned in high school, science is an intellectual pursuit devoid of bestial emotions. Unless, of course, you are a communist. Like Betsy Bright, who sat next to me in math, and her smoking Confederate Richie Marcus. As I learned in my high school, American High, AHS, drama is for movies, things of fiction. Here in the think tank, the only star is science.
I encountered your pet in X8 and had to kill it.
So, you put down Gabe. Thank you. A scamp, but really, his highly augmented combat programming could have proved meddlesome. In any event, thank you for putting him down. One less test subject to catalog and sort. Clearly a failure of Doggy's cybo-engineering.
Want to know more about Mobius in the Forbidden Zone?
The malignant tumor that is Mobius plagues us all. His hunger for power, insatiable. From his lair in the Forbidden Zone, his terrifying robo-scorpion army clicks and whirs across the crater, a big mountain, ever seeking, ever stinging. He must be stopped, or all of Big Mountain shall be destroyed. There is logic and purpose in it. If these technologies are needed to pierce the Forbidden Zone, so be it. Science. Indeed, docile.
I seem to have gotten some experience.
No. Because I cannot. None. We. To. What? That's it. It.
I'm going through a lot of dialogue. You don't want to take a second to violate your rights and make your voice mine. Nah. Hey, we gained karma. Quest completed on the same wavelength.
You are an unusual specimen to so boldly walk into the mighty expanse of the think tank, fearless and proud as a teddy bear. Between the extraction of their higher reasoning abilities and urination-inducing fear, most lobotomites dare not approach us, let alone speak to us. Yet you have no such fear. Facing me, epidermis flushed with blood, plasma running molten beneath, your face contorting with muscular expression. Will you indulge me? Say a few words. Face towards the monitors, please, so that I might record it for further examination.
The quick scribe jumped over to lazy paladin.
Yes, go on. Seeing your lips and mouth forming words, both revolting and somehow... How does it feel to have the flesh roll around in your mouth like that? To control each muscle and the tongue, like having a fish or extremely dexterous slug lolling and flopping in one's malval cavity. Why, my little bear of teddiness. I am Dr. Dalla, first head chief researcher of mineralogy and medicinal sciences. I have 211 doctorates in both applied sciences and techniques to apply those sciences. I also possess a degree in curiosity and a curiosity. That is merely schooling, however. When possible, I prefer fieldwork and observation to holotape eidetics. It has proven useful, especially now. I have become the expert on its excessive examination. Disgusting. Oh, a mailman. You are... Of course. I do not know. But the brain with...
Did you retrieve the... Well... Yeah, that... Mobius is...
I'm actually going to use a... Surely I have a medicine magazine. Yep.
Did you retrieve the...
There it is. Now I can pass this check.
Always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The auto dock is now erased of his routines. It was thorough. Only Mobius would know for sure what happened with the procedure. Perhaps. Well, and your brain, of course, it would know as well. It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. It is conceivable to trace its surgical scalpel prints once we have the brain. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to scream at us while we dissect it. Convenient. I detest screaming in my lab. Why does he seek our destruction? It is... I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If so, you may be immune. If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not be chems, and you need not fear, which means you can test it.
Before I continue...
And you return. Looping. It varies. It is the pacification Dr. Mo...
Breaking news! Oh? How dare you bring Ron Kotek in here?
I'm sorry for all the skipping. Like, there's a lot of dialogue, and I eventually do want to get out of this place.
So, Klein, who asked you? Try to see what makes them tick. Oh. Well, of course it does. That's yeah. You know.
And you return.
Do I have something to increase perception by 1? I already have a +1 perception, so I'd need another +1.
And you return. What? What? Stop it. Enough. I don't know. Perhaps. What if you're ready? And
I think that was another one complete. Oh, I have more things now. The old world loses the main quest. And there's a conversation with Dr. Klein.
Did you retrieve the tech? What? You did? Yes. No. I mean, yes. You just need to... And, how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes, so let me... a bit, huh? I'll figure it out. So you're saying it's the X2 array, not the antenna I should be examining? That was most likely my plan, yes. Let me check something. Of course, I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers, very sloppy, Mobius.
Not null pointers.
Using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency, and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock. Yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his. Biological? Ridiculous. I mean, technically, these items could all be used to put you back together once you had your brain. But for now, they can be used in the name of aggression. The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue.
To have this quest first. Amount of stuff you made us skip in multiplayer night. There is a point where it becomes too much for me. At some point I want to play the game. Stripe. The Death Claw. Hadn't noticed this one before. There's a lot of it in this DLC, yeah. Sometimes I just want to shoot gun. No, I was at the right place.
The lobotomite. What? What? No matter how. And when I. If you. Hi.
Oh, is this it for that quest? Yeah, I've only got field research and old world blues now. You're not doing the story. Why do the DLC? Because that's a side quest and not the main story. What I did just now was a side quest.
Prepare to be attacked by Dr. Mobius!
Actually have to doing the main story, yeah. There's a lot of shooting, so now my gun isn't doing too well. But I think I can repair it more. Okay, there we go. I was teleported in the middle of that.
Attention visitors! Combat experiment in progress. Please put on your goggles and take your rad X now. The X-42 giant robotorpedo is alive! Awaken my pet! Initiate your search and destroy protocol!
That was pretty underwhelming boss fight. Oh, and an AR. Didn't even finish his speech. That was not the guy speaking. It was someone else's creation. That's a lot of choice. I was looking back because maybe I got skill points that allowed me to learn something interesting. Okay, I should get my survival to 45 to get more movement speed. Okay, let's go to the actual ones I can put points in. I'll probably take Nerves of Steel. Yeah. And now I can look around. Alright. Not the most likely one for Greenlog to happen with. But yeah. I can go over here. And I think there's a bit more to explore over here, so I'll go back. Okay, there's another set of stairs here. Lots of ammo boxes. Seems like this fight might have been supposed to drag on for a little bit. And there's a bunch of turrets around that never activated. Oh no, there's another terminal to hack. Yeah, so it looks like I could have hacked the turrets to attack the Scorpion bot. And that's the terminal I was at earlier.
Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Thanks.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-terrific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Why did you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh, well.
You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose. Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
Wait, sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the raisins better than I do. Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
They programmed their names as part of a recursion loop. What, to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
A recursion loop is designed to prevent the flow of information, so...
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here, or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Klein, Mobius, O's a circle, 8's an infinity. They're all loops, I get it.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
Minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is Ouroboros, not Ouroboros.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
If you lobotomize a think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. they saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
But there must have been other signs of a larger world.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
The bullet that went into my brain, Doc Mitchell tried to patch me up, but...
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. And the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial cells into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
Klein said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
What is the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
But I think they downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried. Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor. I'm imagining all sorts of imaginary numbers.
We don't need to kill him. And now I'm just looking around for a bunch of boxes.
Neutron.
Like here.
Neutron. Attached to the meson. Meson's connected to the proton.
Who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, a, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from? Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
But you're the source of both those glands, unless you're arguing that my thyroid is to blame.
Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback feedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Admit it, you're just as glandular as I am.
Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it.
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back in my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
What about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek or the smell of food? Love?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking these hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Why? They promised to put us back together once I did what I wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
You're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank! This brain is coming out of its jar! I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Your brain added. Oh, another LAER.
said I was... mad! Preposterous! Not an angry bone in my body! Have them all removed!
Alright, now we can get out of here. Also, how is my current weapon? Okay, my current weapon is freshly repaired. Oops. I think that's, yeah, that's the side quest. Find biosamples. Okay, so I did find what I had to find in here. There's another one. Oh, hi. Well, I didn't make it across, but I didn't die.
There's nothing I like better than the smell of plasma.
How do I get to that other place?
Is that the best you can do?
There's a spear out of nowhere. Oh, probably on that pipe. Yeah, that makes sense. I can go back to the stage.
You got some plans for me, don't you? Yeah, I can smell it all over you. I love it when you talk like that. Let me just get that interface up and running for you.
What's the hat? Used to. Long time ago. That old Doc Moe ripped out my music drives and stuck in more acoustical processors. Guess you could say I got the blues, even if I can't play them no more. towards the hap.
And now I'm done with that quest.
You require some additional...
Are less resistant to poison, 50%. Robots are only somewhat confused. 5% less likely to score a crit. But now, healing items are twice as effective.
You require some additional...
I've lost a spineless perk. Reinforced spine perk. Your spine is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. Your torso can be crippled again, but your strength and damage threshold have been doubled. Cool. Now it's +2 instead of +1, I guess.
You require some additional...
Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Yeah, I only have, Old World Blues.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated?
Still got the alien gun, yes.
Voice module parts, as we hoped.
I found my brain, and now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
You think I am the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Ah. Hold on, let's redo this dialogue. Except I'm going to consume a book. What? I'm going to consume a science book, which I probably have. Science plus 10, the Programmer's Digest. I have digested the Programmer indeed.
The lobotomite.
Nothing is impossible for science. Mesons, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are at my command.
You speak the truth, and the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank, and what do you want here?
I offer you a deal. Stay here, stay put, and heal. I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you do this for me.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
I got spurs at jingle, jangle, jingle. Hello, Sava. How goes it?
Thank you for what you have done. I feel an...
I'm awake at 3 a.m. Yeah, it's... it's not ideal.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilized the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip.
Okay.
It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt.
Of course. Of course.
Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the big empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other sink personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub.
No!
Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy.
Yeah, it is a long epilogue.
Evil. Technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Lost the brainless perk. You've gained the big brained perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you are only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%. Upgrade the Big MT Transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you and you alone between Mojave and the Big MT. It's a weapon that I equip to go back here if I want.
Might I be safe in the assumption?
So now, whenever I have stuff to sell, I can just go see this shop that has tons of caps. Oh. Right, I wanted to increase survival because it's a requirement for some skill points. Well, for some perks. I'll put it to at least 50. But I'm going to save here, and I do have to quit now. But yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by today's stream. I'm gonna have to go fix the throwing system again, because an update made it not work today. You scammed yourself. I already said that it wasn't working. You know what Marcus says? Naughty funds. But Agataza also has access to mod view, and he can make sure that you're he can actually accept your bonk. Make a refund impossible. Do you now? You don't have the head mod role, which apparently exists now. Head mod role, when that happened? I think it was like at the beginning of this year. I know it's kind of recent, but not really recent anymore. But yeah, I gotta raid out. Because my dad is waiting to reset the Wi-Fi and get things working again. Here are raid messages. Everyone can use the first one. Subscribers can use the second. And we'll go see Romanese, who's currently doing art. Although they seem to be looking at a screenshot at the moment. I'm not sure. Maybe it's... Okay, well, we'll discover. I'll be back on Thursday, continue more Halo 1 in Legendary. And I actually did test out if I'd be able to do Halo 2 in Legendary, and it is possible. I was able to complete the first level. So there is a possibility that I'll do I'll do that on stream. Once we get to it. But yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by today's stream. I hope you all have a good rest of the day and a good night if you're going to sleep. And I hope I can see you all next time. Bye bye.